Welcome back to the Rollup High Roller community. As always, nothing on the Rollup is to be construed as financial advice. We are just some educators in the DeFi space. Toss us a quick like, give us a share, a repost, send it to a friend who may want to watch this, and finally, give us a sub or a follow. It means the world to help support credibly neutral educational content in DeFi. We're here to educate, empower, and enrich you, and let's jump in.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Rollup. We are vibing today on a very modular Friday. Andy, GM, sir.
GM, let's dive in. We're going to talk about some of the different designs of Taiko rollups first, I think, or testnet first, maybe. But this was a really cool drawing from Erickson, one of the community researchers, showing how centralized rollups work. So basically, you got user A, you got Jane or Alice and Bob. You got Alice over there, that beautiful little Alice, and Bob, he's missing. He sends a transaction to the mempool on L2. So in this case, they get sequenced in this mempool. They get passed over to a sequencer that's running basically on AWS, which is also running on a hardware, hopefully close to like it's basically running on a big piece of hardware in some database somewhere that the team's paying for. Then the sequencer builds a L1 block, goes ahead, passes it off to L1 to the builder. The builder includes the L2 block and the L1 block, and then the validator proposes the block, and then it gets confirmed after so many confirmations.
Yep.
So that's kind of like setup of like Arbitrum and like Optimism and like basically every rollup right now.
And this is the not based rollup, right?
Yeah, this is like the normal centralized sequencer ran by the team rollup. Then going to the next slide, the base rollup, you see what happens here is Bob's over here because Bob's based. Bob decides to send his transaction to ape the latest meme coin on Taiko onto the mempool. And so these transactions are then sent directly to the builder without a centralized sequencer. Then the builder builds the L2 block comprised of these transactions, basically like an L1 builder, like an Ethereum mainnet builder. Builds the L2 block and then places them in the L1 block, and then they go for validation. So basically what this does is there's quite a few benefits, notably less room for toxic MEV, higher security, various other composability benefits for developers who do not need to deploy their dApp across multiple rollups. You can just deploy on L1 and then it can be deployed across all based rollups. It also decentralizes the sequencing process and broadly speaking contributes to kind of Ethereum as a whole as a settlement layer.
Yeah. So it goes to show the transaction supply chain. Some rollup designs choose to kind of like stagger the transaction through mempools, like the L2 mempool to the sequencer to the L1 mempool and so on and so forth. And then you have a more direct route in the based rollup.
I think there's some interesting questions there as well from Getz in the comments. Do you not expect base rollups to use the ETH L1 mempool / some private mempool like Flashbox Protect? It says Taiko will use their own mempool, but he thinks the encrypted mempools are really cool. And I think there's maybe one or two other cool comments down there. I know that I put it super based, but I'm not sure if you see anything over there. Otherwise, oh, we got a nice Japanese woman. Yeah, cool. Captures the essence of the shift from centralized sequencing to decentralized approach with base rollups. So yeah, that's kind of like the premise of everything that Taiko's doing for this video going forward. So yeah, welcome to Taiko's website, or Based Rollup. Today we're going to go over the bridge, the ecosystem. The testnet is live, and talk to you guys how you guys can potentially get active in testnet. Who knows what the rewards could be. I know that we've been in close comms with the team in our last video about Based Contestable Rollups with Daniel. He talked about the TKO token having a ton of incentives. So let's just jump right into the implementation. So this is the testnet implementation of the Based Contestable Rollup. We're not going to dive too deep into kind of the technicals here, but effectively there's a multi-proof configuration with 4 different tiers, which kind of go in an X and Y axis here in terms of security and cost. Guardian being the most expensive and the most secure, and Optimistic being the cheapest and the least secure, with 2 options in the middle. And effectively, like Rob pointed out in our previous recorded video that we did not post, but that we kind of settled on, Optimistic being like the easiest, fastest route, and then as there's any kind of fraud proofs or kind of challenges or a necessity to use ZK proofs. And then eventually Guardians in the worst case. So basically what this means is like Taiko's using these Guardians as their validity proofs mature over time. And so that's like their backup, almost like in, for example, like Celestia, using Celestia for DA, there's an Ethereum fallback mechanism in case Celestia has some sort of block failures, and similar here. So this testnet has the Based Contestable Rollup implementation, which is really cool.
It also supports dank sharding, which is supposedly coming in about a month to the Ethereum L1. It's turned off on the current testnet, but it's cool that they are already thinking ahead and building that into the future versions as they launch mainnet, and they'll be able to go live with dank sharding, which will allow a lot of the dApps on Taiko to use cheap data blobs from the very jump. We heard from Avo, our buddy over there, was speaking about how he saves millions of dollars per year by using Celestia DA. And I anticipate a similar cost savings by using the dank sharding feature of Ethereum L1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit less of savings than DA, but that's the trade-off. You keep the Ethereum security of doing data availability within Ethereum, but the trade-off is I think alternative DA layers will end up being much cheaper, but very much so exciting for the broader ecosystem to be kind of pushing this forward. So excited to see how, in Taiko's case, that brings some of the fees down. And yeah, Taiko Katla Testnet is a Type 1 zkEVM, so should be able to interact with all of kind of the Ethereum code base and that type of stuff. Should be fully EVM equivalent, or at least 99% of the way there.
Do you want to check out the bridge?
So why should we bridge? There's a ton of ecosystem apps, and I think there's some potential for some really cool projects, some cool token launches, potentially Taiko TKO rewards for those who interact on testnet. So why would you bridge now and interact with testnet? Well, obviously, like I said, rewards, but there's also a ton of cool projects here on Taiko's ecosystem already implemented.
Yeah, they've already got an NFT marketplace, Alpha Mint. It's a pretty cool looking brand. A few wallets, a couple more NFT marketplaces.
Block explorers, onboarding, AI tooling, games, Crypto Rumble. For some reason, I'm bullish on Crypto Rumble. I don't know why, but if I was messing around on the testnet, I would definitely use Crypto Rumble. For me, it just seems like this game could maybe be something cool one day. So check it out, guys.
Please check for rewards.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens in the future for this, but it's a good way to push some transaction volume on Taiko Testnet and test it out. I know there was another cool AI project over there in the ecosystem page, Brian, and there's a bunch of other cookbook, smart contracts. Covalent is there. Keep on going, maybe. Yeah, Brian is super cool. Can kind of do some Web3 intents. We'll have to look more into that, but another
pretty
cool
dope
product.
live stream we did yesterday. How intense are like the bridging and interoperability solution for the here and now, and Carol making the case for zk proofs as they evolve as the long-term solution for bridging and interop.
Yeah, it's wild. zk. I mean, Daniel was saying from Taiko that he was a big zk maxi, but now he's a little bit more realistic. But ultimately, I think Taiko's on the right track with the zk stuff. So, guys, there's tons of apps here that you can try out, mess around with. Catalyst is even here. Catalyst is, I'm super bullish on them. Great team. So let's go over to the bridge and show you guys how to get over here. Basically, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go ahead and get some faucet tokens from the faucet. You're going to need to set up your Holsky RPC. So you'll have to connect your wallet, do all this jazz, get some ETH on Holsky testnet, and then bridge it from the Ethereum Holsky testnet to the Taiko Katla testnet. And then once you get that on there, then you can do a bunch of cool stuff. For those who are hunting rewards, I'd recommend doing a couple bridges and interacting with as many apps as you can, and really getting the fuel for that. Also, I would totally go on our YouTube channel and watch the Based Contestable Rollup video that we just did, because
they'll give you answers to these quizzes.
Because there's a Galxe campaign. So Rob, maybe walk us through this Galxe campaign here.
Yeah, so I think there's a few campaigns to take advantage of that are kind of like easy to knock out, like become a Twitter follower, join the Discord, etc. Visit the blog post. You'll find very similar information in our YouTube video, and then you can look through this quiz. And this quiz is the approach to multi-proofs. And this quiz is very similar, and it touches on the same concepts that we spoke about at the beginning of this video. Kind of through the middle of this video here in this multi-proof design. As contestations, because this is a based contestable rollup design, as contestations are done on these proofs, they move up the proof tier. And that's why Taiko is considered a multi-proof configuration, in this case with 4 tiers. So the Galxe quiz will kind of walk through that. It'll ask some questions to make sure everyone is on the same page and everyone understands Taiko's approach to multi-proofs. And of course, there's rewards.
And I'll give you guys some alpha because I love you. The answer to the first question is C. I won't tell you the rest, but that's the answer to the first question is C. Good luck, Anon.
GLHF, good luck, have fun. We'll leave you on that little bit of alpha.
Yeah,
enjoy.
So broadly speaking, I'm pretty excited to see these the Taiko DevNet come to play. And yeah, I think that this testnet will probably be rewarded in the sense that it's one of the later testnets, but with more apps available. So pretty excited for that. But broadly speaking, just wanted to show you guys how to get active on chain, use the testnet, and engage in the applications, and bring you guys an update as part of our zkEVM for Dummies series with Taiko. Been working with them for some time now, since early last year or late last year. So excited to kind of push this forward and keep sharing the good vibes about Taiko.